Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, over the next 48 hours until Halloween, I will be doing my best to read 6 horror books. The first one that I want to read is something that I'm actually 30% of the way through right now. I'm listening to it on audio, and that is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. Twisted Ones by Kingfisher. She's cleaning out the house for her deceased grandmother, and she discovers that there are some mysterious hidden beings. And this says, in the chilling novel that reads like the Blair Witch Project meets the Andy Griffith Show. And I will be reading Things in Jars. And this is about Birdie, who is confronted with the most baffling puzzle yet, the kidnapping of Christabel Berwick, secret daughter, and a peculiar child whose reputed supernatural powers have captured the unwanted attention of collectors in this age of discovery. Then I will be reading Sour Candy. This is about Adam, who is a child, and Phil, who is an adult, and they seem to be father and son, but actually Adam, the child, took Phil prisoner. I will be reading My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady, Hendrix. This seems to be some sort of like demon possession exorcism book. And then the last thing that I will be reading is The Luminous Dead, about a caver who is on a foreign planet, and I think the only other person that she interacts with is someone in her ear, and the person in her ear might not be as reliable as you would like. Let's get into the vlog portion of the video. I am currently 30% of the way through White Smoke, and I'm super enjoying this. I'm listening to the audiobook, and like Tiffany Jackson just never misses. So this is about Marigold, who her brother, her mother, her stepfather, who is white, and her stepsister, who is also white, moved to a small town, small like abandoned town, and her mother and stepfather are like revitalizing the town. And so they're moved into this street. All of the houses are abandoned, and they are all very creepy and like palatial. Weird stuff starts happening inside the house, and Marigold herself is somewhat of an unreliable narrator. Right off the bat, you kind of get that she might at some point have had like a nervous breakdown that resulted in some inpatient care, and that she has this obsession around bugs and bed bugs. So she's constantly checking herself for bugs, and if she thinks that she sees a bug on herself or anywhere around her or somewhere that might have bugs, she immediately has like an anxiety attack, and she has this strong craving for weed. This is the only thing that will help with her anxiety. And so she is so consumed. 30% of the way in, we're getting a little bit more backstory into the character, her past, what she's been through. But so far it's pretty creepy. We have the archetypal child who seems to be communicating with possibly a demon or a ghost or something. Definitely some weird dynamics between the husband and the stepfather and the stepdaughter versus the regular family, and just some like real overall spookiness and apprehension is going on. I do have some stuff that I need to do around the house. It's about 1:30-ish now. I'm probably going to start at 2. I need to eat lunch, and then I also have some furniture building that I need to do, which is perfect opportunity to listen to an audiobook. I don't really have a whole lot going on this weekend, just trying to knock out these books. A lot of them are pretty long, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to go get some lunch. Maybe I will get some B-roll of me building furniture, and then I'll come back to you with my thoughts on White Smoke. If you care about my furniture journey, this is not the size that I thought I was gonna get. I have ferret hammocks that I don't really think are gonna fit. This is what I thought I would get, and This is what I got. Hi friends, it is now 6:41 and I am, this lighting is atrocious. Okay, I am over 70% of the way through White Smoke. Very interesting, sort of along the same themes as I was discussing before. Some gentrification going on, revitalizing rather than helping the people that are already there, in addition to the haunted house. And I think that the thing haunting the house is like a personification of gentrification, essentially. I am enjoying it, and then I am 101 pages through Luminous Dead, and I am enjoying it as well. It is pretty slow, but there have been several scenes where I'm like very concerned about what's going to happen. For some reason I thought it was underwater, but it's not. But it's about a diver who is on this barren planet that seems to be like a desert. She has been recruited by this private company to dive under the planet crust, but she doesn't know what for. And she kind of lied about who she was or how experienced she was. But she is attempting to get off of the planet to go find her mother, who left her when she was very young, and her father is kind of an absentee dad. She lied about who she was to get the position, to get money, because divers make a lot of money because they don't generally live through their dives. So it's kind of like an incentive to do the job. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely creepy. There has been mentions of these things called tunnelers. I don't know if they're like creatures, if they're people. I don't know what they are, but they seem to be a big deal. And there have been several like close call scenes where she's been repelling and she's like fallen or whatever. And the woman who is her only contact, the only person that is on the ground crew, is just lying to her left and right, and she doesn't really know what to trust. Right now, I'm kind of just searching for things to do to listen to White Smoke. So I am going to do some cleaning around the house. I need to do some laundry, and I also need to like fix up a closet that I have been putting off, but now is the perfect time while I wait for dinner. So I am going to do that, listen to White Smoke, and update you guys later. My friends, it's not even that late. It's like 8:30 and I'm still super tired. So I ended up finishing White Smoke and I gave it 4 stars. I liked this, but the ending was incredibly underwhelming, and I don't feel like the book was really doing much. In the way of like haunted house story, it was pretty decent until the very end, and then the ending sucked. I felt like it was trying to have conversations about things, systemic racism in prisons, addiction, gentrification, all that, but it just didn't really say anything about it. Like, it brought it up and it had the themes, but it didn't really like do anything with the themes, if that makes sense. And yeah, it was just kind of underwhelming, because like every Tiffany D. Jackson book I've read has been astounding, and this one was just kind of not it. But this was like her first foray into horror, so I think she did a fine job. And then 179 pages into the Luminous Dead, and it is 445, and I think I'm going to DNF it for now. I'm gonna go on to another book, and then if I am feeling up to it, I'll come back to this. I'm just really honestly kind of bored. Main character is kind of just like climbing and shit and like swimming, and like there's not enough weird things happening to like keep the apprehension and the fear there, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of becoming a little dead for me. I think the next book that I'm going to read is the shorter one, because honestly I kind of just need something to like get my confidence back in this video. Yeah, I'm only 40% of the way through Luminous Dead. That's so disappointing, especially since I've been reading this for quite a while, several hours, like a long time. So I think I'm going to read Sour Candy. It's 107 pages, and then I have the other 3, which are over 400 pages, and then the 267 pages left for the Luminous Dead. So yeah, I just need something that feels less disheartening, I guess. So I'm going to read Sour Candy, which is about Phil and Adam, and they seem like they are related, like father-son, but actually Adam, the son, the child, kidnapped Phil. So it's 107 pages. I am going to start reading it now. I'm gonna start this, hopefully finish it tonight. It's 9:30, not 8:30. Still pretty close to my bedtime. I might make a coffee. My partner is being very loud. He said that he was sleepy and that he was gonna be going to bed early, but clearly he got on the video games with how old am I? With his friends, and now he's having a grand old time. I do think I am going to make myself a coffee and try to liven myself back up, so. What the fuck did I just read? 4 stars. I gotta be honest, friends, I'm struggling with this. So I got like 130 pages into Twisted Ones. Is that what it's called? And it just felt so long. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if that I just didn't take my time and pick these books well, because I had another video that I wanted to do for Halloween that fell through. So I just was like, okay, well, let's do horror. And so I went on to Scribd and all of that and picked horror books that I was interested in out of the list that I already had. And this is where we are. And I don't know if like I just didn't do the proper research or what, but I am really struggling. So I started my best friend's Exorcism, because Goodreads, like between that one and the other one that I have left, it has like the higher ratings, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to do it. I haven't given up on the Luminous Dead, or what did I just say? The Twisted Ones, but I'm really struggling, and I think it's because I imposed this 6-book decision on myself, and so I decided that I wanted to get through 6 books in 48 hours, and they're all like over 400 pages, and I think I just ended up over stressing myself. I'm super struggling. Right now I have the ferrets out doing some cleaning, steam cleaning their carpet and stuff like that, and I don't have an audiobook for any of the things on this list, so I'm kind of just like taking, excuse me, my ferrets are destroying all of my things. So I'm just kind of taking a pause and like reevaluating the things that I'm reading, and like in my brain reevaluating the things that I want out of this video, not putting as much stress on myself. Best Friend's Exorcism, it's 444 pages. And hopefully this hits the spot. I'm just, yeah. Hi friends, I just finished my Best Friend's Exorcism, and I have decided to give it 3 stars. So this is about Abby, who goes on this weekend vacation with all of her friends. It's her and 3 of her friends to her friend's lake. They decide to do acid, and then one of their friends goes missing for the night, and she comes back extremely traumatized, and she starts acting really different. If you liked the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, you will like this. I really liked that book until the plot line with the child rape happened. Like that, I didn't like that whole plot line, and I ended up giving that book 2 stars. But if you like that sort of like comedic horror writing that is kind of snarky, you will like this one as well. I just felt less invested the more time went on. It had the same sort of issues that a lot of people had with Southern Book Club, which is that the beginning 60%, 50 to 60%, it really feels like nothing is happening. The possession doesn't even happen until like 100 pages in. So it just is pretty slow. And by the time we actually got to the exorcism part, I was just not caring anymore. The exorcism was boring. It's just the kind of story that I feel like would translate better as a movie, and it has. There's a whole franchise. If you're looking to read My Jennifer's Body, you should check this out. I think I'm gonna go back to The Luminous Dead and see if I can get through it. I just feel like I picked a bunch of horror books that are slow, except Sour Candy. So I think for the context of like this video and what I wanted this video to be, maybe I should have picked some horror novellas. Maybe that's like more my jam, because I can appreciate a slow building horror book, but I just don't think that's where my mind is at for this video, or what I wanted the books for this video to be, I guess. So I would really not like to DNF anything, but I have 3 books left, and it's like 9 o'clock on Saturday, and I have until 3 o'clock on Sunday. I'm going to try to get through Luminous Dead. Then I will try to get through the Twisted Ones. And if I'm just not really feeling those, then I will go to Things in Jars. Is that what it's called? I've heard really good things about Things in Jars, or whatever that one is. I have pretty high hopes for that one, but I guess let's see if I can manage to get through something. Hi friends, it is about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I can rest easy knowing that I have given myself the permission to DNF Twisted Ones. No. Imagine you were sitting down to have someone read you a fairy tale, but it was like a dark and twisty fairy tale. But then the entire time they talked about someone reading a fairy tale, like the actual act of reading, the person getting a cup of tea and cleaning their house before they read the fairy tale. That's what this felt like, and it just wasn't written well at all. I tried switching to the audiobook, and even the audiobook couldn't get me through it. So I feel okay with DNFing 1 book from the video, but I did end up finishing The Luminous Dead. I had to pick the audiobook up, and I hated this. I gave it 2 stars, and I think this is just not the horror for me. I just felt increasingly bored. I didn't care like whether she got out or whether she died. Nothing of interest was happening to me. I didn't feel the building apprehension. I just didn't really care. So the last book that I have to read for the video is Things in Jars, and I'm fairly confident about this. I think it's about a serial killer. I think this might be like a murder mystery / horror thing. I've heard it's pretty gruesome, so I'm going to spend Sunday up until 3 p.m. on Sunday getting it read. Shouldn't take me that long. I have the audiobook for that one as well. And I think that's just like the best way for me to consume horror stories. I think when I read them physically, or like when I read an ebook, I just feel a little bit disconnected from the story. It's not as immersive for me as listening to an audiobook. So I think anytime I am interested in a horror, I'm gonna pick it up that way through an audiobook. And I'm gonna go to bed now. It's way past my bedtime, very sleepy. And then we will get up bright and early tomorrow to give Things in Jars a shot. Hi friends, it is Sunday morning at like 11 o'clock, and I think I'm going to wrap the video up here. I got a couple of chapters into Things in Jars, and I am enjoying it. It very much reminds me of like Stalking Jack the Ripper, but if it was actually good. Had a terrible night's sleep last night and I'm just not feeling it. So I'm going to read Things in Jars over the day, kind of take it slow, edit this video, get it posted, and just kind of enjoy my Sunday. I don't really know what this taught me, my first big foray into horror. I've definitely learned what I don't like. But other than that, it kind of was just a roller coaster of experience. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below on any of the books that I read in this video, or some horror recommendations that you might have for me. I would love to know. Other than that, I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching.